Well, our two finalists have arrived, and of course right here we've got the all-new 2015 Ford F-150 delivered to us in platinum trim. It's got a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6 under the hood, and of course that brand new aluminum body.
And taking the fight to the Ford is the equally new GMC Canyon. Now this is the only domestic midsize on the market, and it's looking to revitalize a withering segment. Now to be crystal clear, this is not a head-to-head comparison. We are simply looking for the truck that is pushed furthest ahead in its own segment.
That's right, Steve. So what are we waiting for? Let's get trucking. Come on.
Just don't, Craig. So here we are in the new 2015 F-150. And honestly, the first thing you notice when you start driving it is just how good the handling is. It's just really light on its feet, it's maneuverable. It really just jumped ahead of the segment in terms of how well it handles.
Absolutely, and of course, a lot of that is owed to the EcoBoost engine under the hood. We've got that 3.5-liter V6. It hauls ass. It absolutely shames the Power Wagon's 6.4-liter V8. Towing, loaded, unload, doesn't matter. This thing hauls.
Yeah, and with that weight on the back, it doesn't even breathe hard. That's my favorite thing about it. You don't even feel like you're working it because it just gets that grunt out in those low RPMs, and it just pulls it. And all of that is complemented by what I would say is now the best steering in the half-ton segment. And you feel hooked up to the wheels, and the fact that it's so light, it makes it really easy on the highway. You're just cruising along, you're not working too hard to make sure it tracks straight. And again, before I think the F-150 had the worst steering in the segment, and now easily it's the best.
Yeah, it's really light, like you said, especially at low speeds, which makes it a snap to park the vehicle or hook up a trailer or something. It's very nice to drive, very pleasant, but it's not a perfect vehicle. Let's talk about the interior a little bit. Steve, I know you said you weren't a big fan of it necessarily.
I mean, my big thing is I think they did a great job upgrading the materials, but just in terms of layout, I still think it's a little bit busy, and even visually, to me, it's just not as appealing as its competition.
But you do get a colossal back seat when you get the extended cab model.
For sure, Craig, and one of the best things about that back seat is it has a completely flat floor. If you have anything to load in back there, not only will it fit, it will be easy to get in.
You just slide it right in a toolbox or a flat pack desk from IKEA, you name it.
Now, one of my favorite features is that 360-degree camera. In a pickup, you're constantly backing up, you're always trying to maneuver around things because it's a big vehicle, and that camera just makes those things a breeze. The other thing Ford has added is this great towing technology up here in my info cluster. Not only will this truck run through a checklist of things when I'm trailering, so it'll make sure that you got your chains connected, etc. It will also check my lights for me. So if I'm running solo, I can back my truck right into my trailer using that camera. It'll check my lights for me. It just makes everything a snap.
On the subject of technology, we cannot forget about this all-aluminum body and bed. This is a watershed moment for the truck segment. It saves a ton of weight. No, not literally a ton, but a lot of weight, and that I think is a major reason why this truck drives so well. But it's also a feature that hasn't been tested in the real world yet. How well is that body going to hold up? It's riveted, it's kind of glued together because they don't really want to weld it. So I don't know how that's going to last over the long haul.
So I think it's safe to say that Ford has done an amazing job with this new F-150. You know what, it's got tons of great technology, it handles great, and it has an amazing engine. Really, there's not a lot of big complaints, and I think that's why it's clearly one of the top finalists for our Truck of the Year award.
Right now we're in the new GMC Canyon out on a smooth road here, and I'm really impressed with the refinement of this truck. It's smooth, it's quiet, it's comfortable, and of course it drives really well. I'm really impressed with the steering feel, nice and tight.
Absolutely, and what did you think once you got that trailer on the back?
Oh, it handled it with ease. I mean, of course the engine had to work hard. We've only got a 3.6-liter V6, 305 horsepower. It does get a little bit taxed. There could be a little bit more low-end torque, but it was not all over the road. It did really well. Also, the interior, very refined in this truck. I know you liked it a lot, Steve.
I think GM does a really great job of building a simple interior, but that said, it works really well. You get in and you understand the use of everything right away. There's nothing confusing about it, but the materials are nice. It's put together well. The fit and finish is good. really, I don't have too many complaints.
It's in another league compared to its Japanese rivals, you know? It's
Absolutely.
not even in the same.
The refinement, the build quality, everything compared to those other mid-sized trucks is just way better. And that even includes the back seat. This truck has more legroom than those ones do, and in this truck, which is a crew cab, it's usable for an adult. It's not uncomfortable. There's really not too much to complain about with that, but if you did have to make some complaints, did you have any problems with the truck?
It's not a perfect vehicle by any means. It's very expensive. The one we've got here, about $38,000. That is well into Silverado territory.
Silverado
you know?
V8 territory.
Exactly. So pricing might be a little bit of an issue. Also, I think with the GMC Canyon, of course, its corporate twin, the Chevrolet Colorado, GM might have missed an opportunity to introduce a real compact pickup truck. This is a big vehicle. It's like, I'd say a 3/4 size Silverado.
That's fair.
So it might be a bit more than a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you there. And I mean, it's just as tall as the Silverado is. The biggest difference is really the width. But I think it could have been a bit smaller, and that might have brought the price down a little bit as well.
Also, those optional running boards outside.
Yeah.
Don't ever buy them. Don't check that option box. They're useless.
Yeah, this truck is not tall enough to need them, and if you do try to use them, it just makes getting in even that much more awkward. And when you go off-road, it's one more thing to get hung up on the rocks.
Yeah, and overall, the 2015 GMC Canyon is a really good truck. I am personally blown away by this thing. I did not realize it would be as excellent as it is.
I think it's safe to say that it leapfrogged its competition by a huge margin, and now those guys are going to have to play catch-up to this truck.
The GMC Canyon was a real surprise in this contest. It wowed us in many ways. This truck has a great interior. It's a lot of fun to drive out on the street, and it ain't too bad when you hook up a big old trailer to the ass end. And for all of these reasons and many more, we're happy to announce that the GMC Canyon is the 2015 AutoGuide.com Truck of the Year runner-up.
This new Ford F-150 simply just takes things further in its segment than the Canyon does in its. It has unparalleled handling, and when you put a trailer on the back, it's very confident. Add on some really unique tech features and that great EcoBoost engine that seems to just get better every year, and we have no choice but to name the F-150 the 2015 AutoGuide.com Truck of the Year.